Hello everyone, I am playing a new game today called Nine Kings Demo. It is about defending your own castle with random troops. So let's get into it. I'll be playing as the King of Nothing just because it is the most basic king of the hardest difficulty we have. We have perks which still hasn't been added into the game because it says available in the full game, sadly. I wish I could play, but you know. Let's get into this. Oh crap, I didn't really, We're fighting the King of Blood, King of Nature, and the Rebels of King of Nothing. So we have this castle, which hurls the stone projectiles into your enemies. And we have 3 lives back here. You have 3 lives left, as you can tell. We're in year 1. Well, yeah, it said we were in a different year, but years in this game are like waves. So it's best to probably first choose It's first to choose units that will fight for you, so you can easily win the first waves on that, because otherwise you might instantly lose because you have no enemies or units to fight with. Luckily they give us catapults to shoot with from our castle, which is very handy. So we've just won the first wave and we go into 2. Every time we beat a different enemy we get their cards we can choose. Each king has 9 different cards. So here we have a Scout Tower, shoots single target arrows. Steel Coat cancels the first hit the target unit will take every battle. Levels up a target plot. You can level up plots and they just increase through their levels. So you can, every time you increase like some units, they would get bigger, stronger, and there would be more of them. And they sometimes get speed buffs, which is very lucky. So sadly I didn't get it, but I was hoping to get another knight unit to show you how it works. But it also works with buildings, like the castle and just any other buildings. So see, we're going to fight the King of Blood, and then we will get his cards to pick from, one of 3. So we have Demon's Altar, Bomber, or we always randomly sometimes have a chance of getting a castle, and that's it. Summons 1 demon per level for each dead ally gains permanently 0.5% stronger. Runs towards the enemy and explodes, dealing area damage. I would say most of the time I use this type of strategy where there's a tower called a farm, which gives you a unit every round, and if you upgrade it, it can give you 3 units per plot which is around it, which is very handy when you're trying to make big armies with strong units. So you see I finally got a second. Okay, this is a royal decree. We get to pick a buff. So exploration unlocks 3 random plots around us, because you can see we have plots back there. We have an eyeglass. Units and towers have 20% chance to deal critical damage. I think everyone knows what crit is. Increase the attack of all troops and towers by 5%. I would probably choose exploration because currently we can't buy any towers. You can only buy them in endless mode. So as you can see, I bought it. We got some new troops and they leveled up, which is very handy for us currently. This game is pretty new. I'm pretty sure it's version 500. They come out with a new version a lot, so 500 isn't a lot. Soon on Diplomat we get to choose between peace and war, as it says there. First one you choose between. First you have to choose a new person to attack, or a new king. The second one you have to choose a new king to make peace with, but as it can't be your own personal rebels of your own kingdom. Look, +1 HP from the Forest Garden, because towers can also give buffs as well as attack. And then there's also magic cards. Well, at least I call them magical cards. I don't actually know what they are. They just give random buffs to your own units, and they can give buffs to towers, I think. As we see a clone card, or procrastinate, which procreate, sorry, I always call it procrastinate. It gives you 9 units on some units. It'll give you 9 extra. See, it recruits them, which is quite helpful. This game is quite new. It should be releasing on the 18th of May, and currently it's the 12th. At least I think it's releasing on the 18th of May. I'll check with that later. As we see, soon we'll choose between peace and war. So we can get some knights. King of Nothing is overall balanced over everything, and it has the most neutral power in that. Well, compared to other kings like the King of Blood and the King of Nature, which the King of Blood has only 2 units, I think, imps and bombers, but while they have carnage and like demon altars and graveyards which summon in demons and that. So I say we'll get some imps in. See, now we wage war. We either get King of Greed or King of Spells. I prefer King of Spells. I find him as one of the strongest kings. Or at least ones which are currently implemented into the game. So, let's see if we get him soon to see what the cards are. Well, actually I know all that you are, but not off by heart. When I finally came back to doing YouTube, I just decided because why the hell not. My VR is currently broken, so I can't do VR videos anymore, which is really sad. So I'm going to be buying a new one. And that's the main reason why I stopped doing YouTube. It's crazy to think it's been like 2 years since my VR broke. Surprisingly, I still haven't got a new one. There, the King of Spells. He's only got 32 units so far, so he's got some wizards and... Are those shamans or are those... Which ones are they? Oh, those are probably warlocks. So now we'll be able to see we have a library, static, and wizard. I'll probably buy units. So here we get merchant. We have, this is our gold in the top left. And here there's different types of merchants which like give you units, spells, or buildings. So I'll probably buy dispenser. It is like a machine gun. And it would probably be best to buy a scout tower to upgrade our other one. So we can see you must have 2 cards to be able to start a round. So you see I can do this. And now I only start a round. So if I have like 10 cards, I need to get rid of 8 of them. Most cards I've ever had is probably 6. But if you want to see more of these types of games, like 9 Kings and that, just tell me. Because I don't really know what to record currently, since I got back into YouTube only today. So, I'm not sure if I'm even going to publish this video. Well, we only find out if I do publish that, won't we? Actually, no, because I don't know. Hopefully, I will publish it, because I don't really want to do another recording on this. Having to explain everything over and over again. Hopefully I can get a new VR soon. So then I can finally play Gorilla Tag again and record videos on that. So here, this is the thing you can buy once you hit endless, but it will show up every 2 in every 25. So here's the next one. It lets you expand your own plots and to do stuff with them. So you can place more people. So as you can just see, I have created a new plot there and I've placed some else there. Although you can place anything there, but once you hit to endless, they cost 30 each to put them down. Quite expensive actually. King of Greed gets you a lot of money, which would help a lot, but then it doesn't have the strongest of units to fight with. Shamans, they usually... Shamans? They usually buff allies' attack based on its own damage. I didn't know it does on its own damage. Well, they're really good cards, especially paired up with strong cards like elves. Elves are really strong, they do tons of damage and plus they shoot from far off, but so are wizards if they have a special enchantment on the wizard thing, which will give them which will give them 1 HP, but it buffs their damage by like 100%, which is extremely useful if you have a strong front line full of like either warlocks or knights. You can't sadly currently play as a what is it called? You can't play currently as a King of Nature, sadly. I wish you could. Most people wish they could, but you sadly can't. We're already in year 16, and this usually ends at year 25. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so we're almost there. But the more you fight, the more their enemies increase in numbers. Mangalore pretty good. It's pretty much a free catapult from your castle, but it sacrifices units nearby to increase its damage. As you can see, it shoots on its own. Just take a look at it. It shoots one big red catapult like thing compared to our normal grey ones. When we shoot like that, just like this, you can see it shoot and then land. While you can see that, and that does more damage. So forest. Now we can make peace with an enemy king, king of nature, king of spells. I prefer to make peace with king of nature. I feel like the easiest king to beat when it's a boss is probably the king of nothing. He's extremely easy to beat. I guess I'm just gonna skip ahead until I get to year 24-25. So I've skipped ahead a bit to year 25, which is currently this battle, I think, or is it? No, it should be that one though. Which I'm pretty sure the king is actually on year 27, which I somehow messed up after having like almost 100 hours in this game already, even though it's so short. We are almost at the boss. You can't guarantee what the boss is going to be, but the only way you can know is if you press an escape, you can see it can't be the King of Nothing Rebellion because we are King of Nothing and they have no king to fight. It could be either King of Blood or King of Spells, which hopefully will be. Actually, they're both pretty bad to face, but I'd prefer for it to be the King of Blood. Because you can wipe out him, you can wipe out all his men really easy compared to the King of Spells. Or at least with my deck, or army you could say. Which I hope I will be able to wipe out fully. Because otherwise, if you lose to a king, you lose all 3 of your lives. But if you lose normally, you only lose 1 life. Which is very nice. King of Blood is leading his final assault. Oh, thank the Lord, I got so lucky there. I'll most likely probably want to level up my turret and then use Steel Coat on these guys, and then I can finally level up my castle. And every last wave you get, use all your cards you have. As you can see, that does not look anything like a King of Blood, so there's theories that it's just some random people. The thing I hate about the King of Blood is how he can summon in units. And those units can actually deal damage. Look how many he's gone. He's going up to 300 units. That is horrific. He summons in units, and it can be strong ones as well, which is horrible. But it's better than the King of Spells, especially if the King of Spells has a lot of wizards on his team. Which is actually so scary. Because they're so strong, or well they can be. Same with King of Nature about his elves. Yes, okay, now we're only facing him. Yes, we finally won. And so from here we can just get a endless mode or continue next challenge, which we have fully finished. And you can add your game to a wish list. So if we can continue playing, we get the tower. I'm not going to play anymore, but I'm just showing around what we have. You get the tower, and you can, if you click on it, wait a sec, we get random cards. And the game's a little buggy, so 30 and everything else still costs 30, no matter what. And you can just buy yourself plots like that. And then as the game goes on forever, always having the Royal Council still, and having the Diplomat, and having the, what was it? It was the Merchant, I think. I think that's what it's called at least. And you can sell your cards here if you really want to, but it's not worth much. But with King of Greed, I'm pretty sure you can double it, so it'll go 18 and then you can double it again. Well, thanks for watching for my first video back after ages. Hope you liked it.